The show's up. The show's up. Good morning, everyone. It is the show before the show, and what a good morning this is going to be. I'm a little excited. A little excited after last night's caucus. Little excited. Vic is here. He's just not in the studio, but he's in the building. I think he's just getting coffee, actually, everybody. Yeah, he's getting coffee. Roads were just a little dicey getting in here. Not too bad. It was just more the traffic. It's just bumper to bumper to bumper coming from where I was coming from. But then Vic comes from the other way, so he just scoots right on in here. How many of you guys were up watching the caucuses all the way to the end? You guys know this lady was. Getting it all set. Getting all the chat platforms ready. Rumble is coming up slow. Normally it's the first one up. Are we having trouble with Rumble? Okay, because I'm not getting Rumble coming up. Okay. Is it going to come up? Okay. Yeah, because Rumble, you have to do something in addition to get it up. All of our other streams come up at the same time. And Rumble is a separate little button. So if you are waiting for Rumble, it's going to be a little bit late this morning. But it's coming. We're still the show before the show. So all right. I think Vic is having a party. We have Cats Meow. I've never seen Cats Meow. Cats Meow is on YouTube. And it says, and he or she says, I never come into the chat, but have a few extra minutes. My daughter introduced me to your show. She was a guest a while back on a crazy woohoo Friday. I listen to you in the background while I work. Thank you, Cats Meow. And if you could tell me who your daughter is, that's awesome. That is awesome. We have had some crazy Fridays. And the show's going to get ready to start. But if you haven't yet, if you guys could please share the show, like the show, if you have time to subscribe to the show. A lot of you have already done that. But if you're new in coming to the show, I see some new people here. So if you're on YouTube, Facebook, those are already up. If you could like it and share it, that would be great. Rumble, it has a little delay, but it is coming up. Huh? I can't. If it No, not if it's not already up. No. That is true. Dawn says she loves the show before the show. Feels like we are just sitting around having coffee. Yeah, that kind of organically happened, the show before the show. We were just starting the show. And then one day, Vic and I were laughing about something. And we were like, oh my gosh, this would be funny if all of our buddies were in the show before the show. So we just started doing it. And it's different every day. But Vic is here. He's in the building. He'll be in for the show to start. And like I said, you guys have made the show so great. So if you haven't already shared the show, that would be awesome if you would share it. And also, you know what really works is if you take the show and then like you take the share button and you just text it to a friend. So if you know anyone, it would be really excited about what happened to the Caucus last night. We're going to talk about other things too, but I'm just such a geek with all that. Watched every little minute of that, and it was so exciting. And Trump won bigly. So you guys know I'm really excited about that. Oh. You can hear Vic's voice because he's like, oh, the coffee machine isn't working. There's no cups. And then it's, oh, there is cups. There is cups in a box. Yeah. You brought cups in? That's nice of you. No, they were just sitting out front. UPS brought them. Lizzie, I'm coming. You're fine. You're good. The delay is all about coffee. And see, I'm not a coffee person. So I think I wish I was. I love the smell of it. But most people that I work with, unless they have their coffee, they can't even function. I just love the smell of coffee, but I don't drink it. Karen says she's so excited too. So Glenn is here, Mary, Roland, Karen. Roland says delusional, DeSantis, Kimberly, Dawn, Margie, Trisha, Paul, Donna G, Addie, Troy, another Karen. I don't see Karen with this. Oh, I do see. Okay, I see her on a different platform. Very good. Very good. And I see people on the chat line talking about coffee. Yep. And Donna says she watched all of it too. She's a geek with it too. Only place I know to watch is Right Side Broadcasting. They did do a good job. I had like 2 TVs going, my phone going and watching. I did see it on Right Side Broadcasting. I saw it on Newsmax. I watched it on Fox. And then I also was a glutton for punishment. And it was so funny. I would go over to, it was so funny watching it on MSNBC and watching, I should be kind, Rachel Maddow. I've called her other names. She acts like a mad cow. So I call her Rachel Mad Cow because she just was so mad last night. It was like she was venting all of her frustrations on the psychiatrist's couch. I mean, it was hysterical. Now, CNN, when I was watching CNN, they were a little bit more civilized about their hatred towards Donald Trump, a little bit more civilized. So, yeah, I thought that was really good. Usually OAN covers these things pretty well, but their coverage was not really there and it was kind of hard to watch. So Newsmax did a good job. And obviously, I think Fox did the best job. And I would have, gosh, I'm cringing saying that after what they did in the 2020 election. But I'm guessing even Donald Trump was kind of apologetic about, or actually I shouldn't say apologetic, made up with Fox, because last night, many of you probably saw that when he was going to, say that he won and stand on the stage and announce, how happy he was about winning, on the teleprompters, it was Fox. It wasn't OAN. It wasn't Newsmax. It wasn't Right Side Right Side Broadcasting, although he was invited right up by them. So I know Donald Trump loves Right Side Broadcasting too. But Fox was right up front.
Well, Joe is, you know what? When he comes in, do you know how to pull him in, though? Yes.
Yes.
If it works, great. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out.
The only thing we don't have is we don't have Rumble this morning.
I know. I've been
Okay.
to text Alex. He's
Okay.
up.
Okay. But Rumble will come shortly. Yeah, we've got to be able to get Rumble up without Alex. Yep, we're live. I agree, Chris. MSNBC was having a complete meltdown by their anchors. It was delightful. Delightful. So it was fun. Last night, you could watch it on so many different angles. See it on Right Side Broadcasting, who has been nothing but wonderful to Trump.
We have a lot of those videos.
Yeah, that's good.
It just, since Joe's not here and we had to do it all.
Correct.
We haven't had a chance to even go through. I mean, I got a million videos.
Well, that'll be coming. Joe's almost.
And that put me behind, which is why I'm here, because Joe's not here and the coffee machine's not working.
What a crisis. I mean, think about this first world problems that we had to bring the show up ourselves.
There's not even traffic. You guys are trying to tell me there's traffic.
There is traffic coming from St. Charles County. You're one of those Sam Page slime ball St. Louis guys.
Yeah, there's no traffic.
Yeah, there is traffic.
Let me get dressed on air.
There we go.
Let me zip up my pants, buckle my belt.
That was because he was working out.
No, I wish.
You didn't work out this morning?
No, I didn't. I was going to get
dressed here.
Partially.
Okay. Yeah, because this facility is awesome.
Good morning to everybody.
It is.
All right. Well, do we try? Do we start this?
Okay, so the show hasn't started yet. It's the show before the show still. Do we want to try to start the show ourselves? So if it's all messed up.
Here's what we're doing, but you don't know how to do the music, right, Dave? Yeah, we can just go ahead and when you hit live, it should be like 3, 2, 1, and then I'll just pick it up.
We're already live.
For the show where we tape it.
There you go. Okay. All right. So now the show's really starting. Here it is. Okay. Bring us in on the camera. There's no music. Should I just start singing? Okay, now here's the real show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks here. David Sparks running the boards this morning. Joe says he ran into some traffic. Hopefully he'll be here soon. Lots to get into today. It is episode 289. It is a Tuesday, January 16th. We're ready to rock and roll. Of course, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. We're ready to go because yesterday was such a huge freaking day. Like, subscribe, share the show. You know what we do with all the algorithms. We are grateful for all the what's up, Paul? We're grateful for all the support that you give us. We continue to grow as a show, the streaming on all the platforms as well. And of course, the presence that we have, and it's because of you. Let's have a lot of fun today. We are political heavy today, especially with what happened yesterday. On Tuesday, yes, Dave here to save the day. His cape is flowing in the cold wind as well as he sits at the desk making things happen. So we're ready to rock and roll with everything that we've got going on this morning. Coming up in, I don't know, in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we'll see how it goes. Dr. Bob Onder, politician in the St. Charles area, in the St. Louis metropolitan area. He was in Iowa. And he's joining us live from Iowa. He was at Trump headquarters, so we get a perspective of what that was like as well. Yeah, Donald Trump dominated when it came to the caucus. And that's the big story, the big news. Liberals are losing their mind. But at the forefront of everything is just a massive comeback. Think about this from where we were following all media attention. Republicans, Democrats, liberals after January 6th. And then, of course, time goes by. You hear the entire story of what happened, the entire story, all the facts of what had happened. And then here he is. I mean, come on. We already knew what was going to happen last night. But then it's the media networks, Fox, you're to blame to try to hype everything up because you got to get ratings. You can't just say, hey, don't watch tonight. Trump's going to dominate. Then not only did he do it, he did it in record time.
Sure did.
The biggest blowout ever, the fastest ever. We've never seen anything like this. It makes you think this man is ordained to become president of the United States again.
He is.
With the deep state doing everything they can to stop him. No man, no woman has ever faced what this man has faced in the last year and a half because he wanted to run for president again. No man has put up with the crap that he has put up with. Not only did he dominate yesterday in record time, frustrating everybody. What does he do? He couldn't even savor the victory. He had to get on a plane, fly back to New York because another trial starts this morning. And was it Jean? What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. I'll get to it. I came in hot to this morning. Another trial in some sexual assault case or some other made up bullshit that we all know is total crap because that's what they do. They throw this stuff against the wall to try to keep him out. That just all of a sudden we're going to do this because he's running for president. When people try to take you down in the media, you know, look at them. Look at who they are and what their motives are, especially after time has elapsed. When people try to come after you to destroy you because you have media attention, look at who they are as people and don't believe it. You can't believe it. And that's exactly what this woman is trying to do to Donald Trump. It's exactly what the deep state's doing. So Lizzie, he is in New York to do a new trial. Then after he does this, starts this new trial, then he flies to New Hampshire for a speech tonight.
Correct.
Congratulations, Donald Trump.
Love it. Love every bit of this. Love every bit of it. It was so exciting last night. And we knew the outcome was going to be the one. And we knew that it was going to be by a big margin. But nonetheless, it gives me goosebumps. It's just so exciting. I'm so happy about that.
When you look at the domination of what happened, not only was it big, it was bigger than expected.
Right.
I'm like, holy crap, he's going to win by even more. Granted, it's a caucus. Okay, I get it. We'll keep things in perspective.
Correct. It's just the beginning.
But look at all the money that Vivek spent.
Yes.
Nikki and Ron.
Yes.
And when you get crushed, everybody knows this is over. Even the hardcore evil left liberals, people on MSNBC, who, by the way, not only are they Marxist, they're racist, and we're going to show you why they are that way. Not just say it, but prove it in just a second. They're like, this primary is over.
Yeah.
We knew it was over before it started.
Correct. We knew.
The polling has shown us that it was over before it started. Vivek is out. He's now supporting Donald Trump. And I know people are still there are some people trying to figure out Vivek. I'm just telling you, most of America that's middle or to the right loves Vivek from 35 and under. They love him. He is the man. Love him, love him, love him. Okay. Then you have, and this is what's sickening, and I know this happens in competition, Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, they have nothing going on for them.
They really don't.
Nothing.
Nope.
And Nikki continues to open her mouth, and I think she gets a pass, and I'm going to let you speak because she's a woman. But some of the stuff she's saying against these guys, if guys said it to her, they would be crucified. You're misogynistic. Oh my God, you're sexist. But then she's saying the stuff she's saying to Donald Trump
is unbelievable.
And Ron DeSantis, shame on you, Nikki. And shame on, I mean, you can support who you want, but if that's somebody who you want to support, okay, go ahead. But she's not playing fair.
Nope.
She is very, very evil in her positioning and her comments. And she's going below the belt. Let's just say it that way.
She is going below the belt. And you're right.
And it doesn't matter because she's getting her ass kicked up and down the street, all across America. She's going to lose. Ron DeSantis is going to lose. They're losers when it comes to this competition. As many people are now saying, just stop.
Yeah, just stop already.
Why don't you unite the Republican Party? Because right now, the only people who are dividing the Republican Party are Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley.
Correct.
And the deep state that supports whomever.
Correct. And the deep state definitely supports Nikki. I don't know that it's the deep state that does Ron. I mean, he definitely has big donors, but I don't know that exactly it's deep state. The only reason why Nikki got as high as she got last night at all is because the Democrats came and caucused and elevated her numbers. That's not going to happen everywhere.
And she wasn't even high.
Right. She was there. You're right. You're right.
She
and
finished
it was Democrats
third.
who did it.
If
Yes.
you finish third in Iowa, you have zero chance at the nomination.
Correct.
But once again, this is what happens. The media and those who hate Trump and Fox News, they're trying to create drama where there's no drama. Let's create a race where there's no race. Let's create a competition when there's no competition. It's over. And Vivek put it perfectly. He's like, it's time for us to realize Donald Trump is the candidate. There's nobody else. All this other stuff is just made for TV, for ratings, for advertisers, for money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kathleen says Vivek was very honorable and he has great style. He was. He said some things against Trump and Trump supporters on Sunday that frustrated me.
Me too.
He took jabs and I'm like, ooh, that's not like somebody who says that he would accept a vice presidential nod. But then Donald Trump thanked him last night for his support and kind of like, yeah, he'll be good in his support. And, you know, he's got a future, you know, things like that. Like as he does, as he should have been saying about Ron DeSantis.
Correct. Yeah, he should have been saying that about Ron DeSantis. But Ron DeSantis, a lot of the reason why Ron lost so bad is either agree with this or not. His disloyalty to Donald Trump and Donald Trump's base was unforgivable to people. So there's people that are so upset with Ron DeSantis because he didn't act like Vivek. Vivek, like him or not like him, he has always said that he would back Donald Trump. That's why I was a little confused with the jabs on Sunday. That being said, a lot of millennials, people 35 and under really like him, and he's saying all the right things. And if Vivek is really who he says he is, I don't know that because I don't know him, but if he is really who he says he is, Donald Trump would be silly not to bring him along somewhere in his campaign because he's a killer with his words. To the left. I mean, he just slices and dices them.
Well, okay. Joe, are you set up yet to the point where you can pull up pictures or let me know when you can?
I'm just now getting to setting all that up. I just got us up on Rumble.
Yeah, let me know as soon as you can because we're behind the scenes trying to figure that out. Plus, we've got Bob Onder coming in as well.
Gotcha. What do you want to get to first? So maybe I can put that in first.
Is Bob Onder in? Is that what you mean?
No.
Did I send you a picture regarding the final stats? I sent you several pics as well because I wanted to go over that and just show Donald Trump won at last check that I saw 98 of the 99 counties and was leading the 99th county. When I went to bed, it reminded me of the 2020 election. Oh no, Nikki Haley won by a couple votes, literally by a couple votes. Something just made me think, gee, the last county that had to be counted late at night is the only one that Donald Trump didn't win. Have we run this course before? I think we have. Yeah, when you look at some of the numbers, Donald Trump just dominated. And this gives you an idea. I mean, 74.6%. I mean, we're talking about 60%. A 60% win. Numbers we have never seen before. America knows Donald Trump's the man. DeSantis knows it. Haley knows it. And Ramaswamy really knows it, who suspended his campaign last night. And you know what? As the old saying goes, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Vivek has done. All right. Trump's campaign couldn't be in a better spot right now. And he barely got to campaign in Iowa because of, the hardcore left liberal trials and indictments that are going nowhere. Now, it doesn't matter if he's convicted. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He could be convicted anywhere.
Correct.
Especially with what Judge Ignorant in New York is doing, Judge Ignorant. And we're starting to see everything that he is doing. And the writing was on the wall. It does not matter. And MSNBC and all these liberals are like, oh my God, you racist white people are going to elect a man who's convicted. They're literally using this terminology.
They are. And they're using
these are
racist.
These are black women, transgenders, these are people who are far, far left. They're not about the family. And they're saying that white people are the problem. White Christians are the problem. And then you're like, wait a second, let's step back for a second. Why are you so triggered?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so triggered by the family? Why are you so triggered by conservative ideals? Why are you so concerned with America being great again?
Yeah.
And once again, it hits at the pride.
Yeah,
It hits at people's pride issues. I mean, it's like, let's call out Christianity and the color of somebody's skin.
Yes.
Because they want to vote for Donald Trump. There's no Democratic candidate that can freaking step into a ring with Donald Trump.
Correct.
You know it and I know it. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this and you don't like Donald Trump, you know he's the best candidate that's out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my, oh my, was it called early. And then we had, of course, I'm on a roll. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, keep going. You're doing
DeSantis team comes out this morning. Well, this is Iowa's fault.
Oh, he whined.
Ron DeSantis, he has destroyed himself politically. He needs to drop. He needs to back Trump, and he needs his own comeback.
I agree.
The problem that he has now is he and his team are saying, well, the caucus was called too early. That made people not want to come out in the cold weather. Well, I guess they didn't love you that much.
Right.
If there were all these people that were Ron DeSantis fans, I guess, do I go vote for Ron or do I stay warm? Do I vote for Ron? Or do I stay warm?
Right.
Yeah, I choose warmth. While Trump's brigade is, we don't care if it's 50 below.
Correct.
We're saving this country. We're making America great again.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right.
Who's the Muffin Man? From the chat line, they said I sound like the Muffin Man.
Oh, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. That's what he says.
How did I sound like that?
I don't know, but that's what Greggy's saying. You sound like the Muffin Man.
Please like, subscribe, share the show, canceltheshow.com. Paul says, what does that say about Ron's supporters? Yeah, maybe. Don says, go Vic, go. And Glenn says, at least DeSantis beat Haley. Yeah. This is how bad. Bill Hemmer, maybe you're being told what you have to do. Bill Hemmer from Fox News. He's the map guy, and he's really good. Now, check this out. You've got this county down here in southeast Iowa that has 3,000 total voters. 64 of them have showed up tonight. If Nikki Haley can get one person to go vote for her, I mean, by the end of the night, he's literally saying, okay.
He was giddy about pressing the computer.
They pushed Donald Trump out. Okay, Donald Trump won. Now it's like, but now we got a close race for second place.
Woo.
They really tried to make it as if it's something.
Yeah.
My God, local news, national news has lost all credibility. I know they've got advertisers that bought time, but this was so stupid. Total filler time. Nobody cares about second place, do they? Am I wrong?
Well, some people care about second place because they think this is only the first caucus and that Nikki's going to win New Hampshire. So the Never Trumpers probably liked Bill Hemmer and all of his shenanigans with the computer and all that kind of stuff. Although, did you see Martha McCallum? I was like, she reminded me of Vanna White. You know, she would go to the computer and then she'd like press this and press this. And I was like, is this Wheel of Fortune?
Well, it's fine. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. And if it's of noteworthy news, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But none of what they were doing was worth, and they're like, because it was over so early.
Correct.
And they knew what was going to happen. And then they had to try to pump it all up.
Correct.
And that's why we got so much to get to. We got Dr. Bob Onder coming up shortly. He will be getting to us. He's, as a matter of fact, as soon as I say it, Bob checks in. Bob was in Iowa, and he is in Iowa this morning. Is that Donald's hotel room? Are you a Donald?
Am I with Donald? No, I'm not. I'm at the Holiday Inn.
Well, we can't hear your sound if you can hear us.
Okay, let me, let's see.
You can check your laptop and you can talk that over. Joe, do you want me to give you his phone number to talk things out? Or?
Yeah, if you can put it in the
sure, we can do that. Bob Onder in Iowa this morning joining us, and he's going to be checking in with us here. We'll be fixing his sound. I'm getting that over to Joe right now. Also, anybody that was there, and I saw updates and people talking about the excitement there, people who were at the Trump campaign.
People are saying that they can hear him. We just can't hear him for whatever reason. But our listeners
that would be
Bob.
a problem.
That would be a problem.
Yeah.
Our listeners can hear, Bob.
That's all right. We'll figure that. We'll take care of that in just a
Try to
second
get
as we
them
try to
gizmo.
work with Bob there too. Seeing the picture, seeing what was happening, everything going on from last night at the caucus.
Mm-hmm.
There's an excitement around Donald Trump.
Oh, for sure.
There is.
100%.
And when I say an excitement positive, and then an excitement for people who are negative
Correct.
towards the man. And the only thing that happens is that this continues to go on because you have billionaires who in recent months have just entered the game to try to back Nikki Haley.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly
They were
right.
trying to support Ron DeSantis and realized, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say it, but he was a losing candidate. It was throwing good money at a bad problem.
Yeah.
Now they're throwing good money at another bad problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how long it's going to take them to realize this, that it is time. And I know it's only the first caucus.
Yeah.
But you kind of see what the writing on the wall.
But
And even
that's
if
the
Nikki
point.
does well, and New Hampshire's next Tuesday, by the way.
Well, and you said that's only the first caucus, and Ron DeSantis has already spilled most of his beans on this caucus. He doesn't have a whole lot more money going into the rest. Nikki has more money, but Ron's going to have to collect some more money.
Yeah, he campaigned in every single county, and he still couldn't muster up a good showing, which is an issue. Dr. Bob Onder joining us here. We got you. Doctor, hopefully we can hear you again this morning. Hopefully I was treating you well this morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
We don't have him again, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I can see that there's audio on his end.
Well, this is just wonderful podcasting, isn't
I'm
it?
telling you.
Oh my gosh. Well,
great.
and apparently our listeners can hear Bob.
Yeah, that's really strange that there's.
Yeah.
Maybe we can check off and check back in, Bob, if you can hear us. Maybe
How about
tune
now?
out and then maybe
and then just
try
come
back,
right
in.
back in. Yeah.
And so maybe Joe can figure out what
I
the
did
issue
try
is.
calling him.
Yeah, because our listeners. So, Bob, if you can hear us,
Yep. Go
you're
ahead and
going to
click
get
off.
a
We'll
phone
come back.
call. We're going to get a phone call.
Click off
And then
again.
you can
All
talk
right.
to our producer because our listeners hear him. We just don't hear him.
Yeah, so that's
That's so
in
strange.
studio that needs to be taken care of. Maybe it was a button that was done, something, who knows, maybe in the setup. But anyway, we can play the stream in your ear since we can still hear.
Here, hold on.
okay.
Watch.
Yeah, but the problem is you may get some backup.
There's going to be lag.
Yeah, we can't have that lag. That's the problem. And hopefully we can get Bob. If we can't get him. I mean, we got to figure it out. Hopefully Joe can figure out this issue. That's why we call Joe the best at all the engineering stuff. So
Pro Joe.
now it's time for Pro Joe to show his worth.
Well,
Radio
I'll give him a
check again.
call.
Thank you, buddy. Okay, so we'll continue to talk about this. We can take Bob down until we figure it out. So Ron DeSantis barely squeaks out a second place victory.
Correct.
Barely.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible for him.
It is.
I mean, it was a terrible showing. Nikki Haley's like, I'm on, I love you, Iowa, but we're on to New Hampshire now.
Yeah,
And
it was like, screw you.
it
to
basically
Iowa.
was.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. They're not going to get out of the race. There's too much
No,
money.
They're not.
And they've got these caucuses. I mean, they've got these events coming up.
Correct.
And they've got TV events.
Yeah.
And money makes the world go round.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like, my God. So here we got to go through all of these problems, all of these things that are happening right now. So, highlights from the night: Trump takes care of business.
So
and then,
exciting.
We've got a lot of sound, unfortunately, because of the issues. We got to talk. I need Joe when he gets done, so we can actually run the video and run the pictures and run the shows that we had put together for today. So Paul says that Nikki's fake. And I don't want to rip these Republicans. I'm trying to stay.
Correct.
I don't, because there is a competition going on.
Right.
But the way Nikki is treating both those guys, it's really, really bad.
Correct.
And she's feeling the pressure of her donors. And she took on these deep pocket, deep state donors from Ron DeSantis. She even admitted it in her debate with Ron.
Yeah.
You're just mad because they don't support you anymore. They support me.
Correct.
And I just hate it when they lie. Stop lying. Just don't lie about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely. And it tells you so much when so many of the donors are Democrat and she leans to that base. And I know why she did that, because she has done some good things in her time legislating, but she has no place. She had no lane because Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump are similar, whether we like it or not. They're different in how they, handle themselves, but their policies are very much the same. Nikki's had to be completely different in order for her to look different. And so she took her already very moderate policies and took them to the left, thinking, and I don't know who told her to do that, that was actually going to get her elected. And I think what they've been saying from day one is, oh, Donald Trump, he's going to go to jail and all this, so you can take over. So she thought she'd get elected with the Democrat base.
Well, this is, it's domination at its finest. And it is interesting now because not only did Donald Trump make headway within the Republican Party and prove that the polling is correct, because there were Ron DeSantis lovers out there, and I don't understand why everybody's just they're gonna sink on this ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a never Trumper.
I know.
Fine, okay, you're allowed to do, but why? Why continue to go down that path? I mean, we have people saying that you can't believe polling. Well, guess what? As I have told you and everybody else, when the polling from the far left, when the polling from the central, and the polling of the right are all matching over an 8-month period, yeah, you need to start thinking that, yeah, this is serious. And guess what? That's exactly what happened last night.
Yeah.
There's no joke. This is a Trump Express. It is a runaway train right now. And the only thing that can take it off of its course is no election.
Mm-hmm.
I repeat, no election.
Correct.
Donald Trump not being alive and or trying to throw some sort of crap against the wall where he is not allowed to run.
Well, and you see that increasing. We've said this before. Look at all the things that are going around the world, and they're trying to provoke a World War III. I would not be surprised if they've tried everything else. I mean, they've tried to get him arrested. They have just thrown everything at him, accused him of prostitutes and this and that. They've done everything. I mean, they stole the last election, and they know that this one, he's going to win by more than he did the last 2 times. They know he's going to win a 3rd time. And literally the only way that they can stop him is to unalive him. And a lot of people are saying that. Tucker is saying it. Other people are saying it. They only have 2 options now because the train is going down the track so fast. People love Donald Trump, even people who don't like him. They don't like the bad economy. They don't like everything that's going on. Young people can't buy a house. And so he's going to run away with it. They have 2 choices: to unalive him or start a war so that they can leave Joe Biden in longer. I'm not. I see that coming. I hope I'm wrong.
We have talked about it on this show for quite some time.
Yes.
There is a plan in place, and Donald Trump told us, and everything that he has told us has come to light. It has been true.
Yes.
There's a plan to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
There is a plan to come after us, and he's standing in the way. The man continues to go through it. The man continues to win, despite all the odds, despite all the arrows being shot at him. The desperation is overwhelming.
Yes.
To the point where now, and we'll show you, have networks. You have American networks refusing to show his press conferences, refusing to say his name.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of the Republican caucus in Iowa, refusing to say his name. And you have Americans just walking around, I don't want to ruffle any feathers,
Right?
Oh, well, yeah, whatever, I got my kids' stuff tonight and got my happy hour and,
and it's not my problem.
It's kind of cold.
It's not my problem.
I just want to stay in my own little neighborhood. I get it.
I do too. I do get it.
It's comfortable. That was the American freedom, the American life that we used to have that we don't have anymore. And the more quiet you are and the more you just say, I don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Then you'll sit there, and then before you know it, things are taken over.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who said this. It was Bill Maher. He compared it with the transgender movement.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, the problem is you have people who are quiet for so long, and you'd hear people say things about the transgender movement. I'm a boy when you're a girl, and you're like, okay. And you're just quiet, and you just like, hey, I'm not going to get involved in that.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, whoa. And everybody's thinking the same thing. It's like, okay, yeah, but we'll just be quiet. And then before too long, that movement, while you were being quiet, not saying it because you just wanted to be kind and nice.
Correct.
And not call out what is truth in black and white. Then before you know it, they're dictating policy to you. Mm-hmm. And then you have an issue.
All right. Bob had another interview. He's going to call us back in 15 minutes.
I'd say I think it's on our end. It's
not on our end because we weren't showing any audio coming through. He had a camera issue. He had some other things. I did figure it out to where we could Bluetooth to the board, the audio.
Okay.
And we can still use.
Well, he can check back in with this if it works.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. He can check in later. No big deal. He's going to be very busy today.
Yeah, we got a lot of videos. We've got a lot of full screens. We got a lot of information to get to you. If we get to that, great. If we don't, that's fine. We tried. It did not work. Our viewers and listeners don't want to sit around for all of that stuff with him when it comes to, hoping we can get him for everybody. I did want to go to Donald Trump. We have Donald Trump speeches from last night. We have 2 speeches, and we'll go ahead. This is Donald Trump from last night talking after winning. And once again, the man is just presidential beyond belief. And I love listening to him talk. Here's one of his clips from last night.
So we're going to come together. We're going to drill, baby, drill right away. Yeah. Drill, baby, drill. So we're going to come together. We're going to drill, baby, drill right away. Yeah. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to seal up the border. Because right now we have an invasion. We have an invasion of millions and millions of people that are coming into our. So we're going to come together.
Trump putting it together.
We're going to
finally somebody
drill, baby, drill right away.
Turn that off, Joe.
Drill, baby, drill. Didn't you like the sound of that? Drill, baby, drill.
And he's been talking about this from the get-go.
Yes.
Energy independence in America and taking care of the illegal invasion that is happening in this country right now. But that wasn't the only clip from Donald Trump last night. We also have another clip. Do you have the other clip, Joe? Did you have? Okay. Hope Joe will get that together and we will listen to Donald Trump.
Oh, so good. So good.
I mean, it's bringing me back to a happier place.
Me too.
And here's Donald Trump talking last night.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This has been some period of time, and most importantly, we want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all. What a turnout, what a crowd. And I really think this is time now for everybody, our country, to come together. We want to come together, whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative. It would be so nice if we could come together and straighten out the world and straighten out the problems and straighten out all of the death and destruction that we're witnessing. That's practically never been like this. It's just so important, and I want to make that a very big part of our message. We're going to come together. It's going to happen soon, too. It's going to happen soon.
That was so good.
Yeah, we need to. We know at one point in time we had a Donald Trump call us on our show.
Yes, we did.
And we may have to have Donald Trump call us again.
I think we might need to have Donald Trump call us again. He sounded so great last night. If you noticed, for people who do get upset with his name calling or mean tweeting or any of that, wasn't me, but a lot of people do. He didn't do any of that. He didn't even call Ron DeSanctimonious or Vicky or Nikki. He was very presidential. The last couple of times I've heard him say. So now people can't say that. I think he's learned, and I hope he keeps doing that. Plus, he knows he's going to win in a landslide unless they cheat. He knows that.
Paul says it's a nice feeling, guys.
It wasn't.
But don't go cracking open the champagne yet. I'm cautiously optimistic. Yes, there is a problem that's going after.
Paul's not wrong.
Robert says, well, there's also people who feel that the uniparty's controlling anyway, so they don't vote. Yeah, there are people like that, but it's a small group, Robert.
Correct.
Because you really have to be involved in politics heavy to realize that there's a uniparty and the cabal who is involved. And not for 1 second do I believe Donald Trump is involved in that.
I don't believe that he's involved in that.
He may be the only one because he's not on the payroll.
Correct.
But I agree with what you're saying, but I still think it's a smaller number.
I do too. And that's what they did try to do. To his point, they tried to do that. I mean, there were people that would sit in their pickup trucks and cars and go on flag rallies and got all excited. And then the election got stolen. And so then people are discouraged. But I think the one good thing about being discouraged is I could see people didn't want to vote maybe a year and a half ago, but now they've seen the economy so bad and our country becoming such a shithole that they're now going to be, okay, even if my vote doesn't mean anything, I've got to at least try to do that. We got to try to do that. And like we talked yesterday, if your state has a caucus, get involved. You actually can get involved. Caucuses are great if you get involved.
I thought this was pretty interesting too. Joe, can you put up the picture of the odds right now? The betting odds.
Mm-hmm. The betting odds are great.
The Vegas betting odds on who the 2024 presidential election will be won by. Mm-hmm. And for our listeners on the podcast, we're showing the actual odds, but we'll read them all for you. But yeah, they have Trump at 5-4 odds, dominating the field. I mean, dominating the field. Joe Biden comes in at 21-10 in second place. Nikki Haley third at 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin Newsom at 12-1. That should be like 121-1.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Kennedy Jr. odds are 20-1. But before Robert Kennedy, Michelle Obama 14-1.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Michael. Just some people know that person as Michael Obama, so I have to say Michael.
Correct, because some people that's what
confused.
they call him.
Yeah, they get confused when I say Michelle, and they say that I'm wrong.
Correct, they do.
I've been told that I was wrong for saying Michelle Obama, that I should say Michael Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Ramaswamy 28-1, even ahead of DeSantis. Oh my God!
Yeah, because in the end,
poor Ron, 33-1 odds, just barely above Kamala Harris at 40-1. All other candidates listed are at 100-1 or higher. Literally, the betting odds right now in Vegas. If that doesn't tell you the story of what's happening, and this is why there's such a hardcore push against the Donald Trump. And all he wants to do is make America great again. But so many people, and what's sad is most of these anchors that you see on national news and local news, they don't like Donald Trump.
They don't.
I know personally. I worked with them, and it was sad to see the scripts and the attention go against him or away from him. Glenn says she identifies as she, her, and Michael.
Well, okay. and I know that's, we're not talking about that, but that is the push of the Obamas at the end of their administration. And people always push something that's near and dear to her. So hence Michael Michelle.
Vivek suspended his campaign last night.
He sure did.
Here's Vivek. He spoke last night in a very eloquent way, as he does. He is a tremendous speaker, trying to unite the country. And he is now getting behind Donald Trump, which is very interesting. Here's Vivek.
As I've said since the beginning, there are two America First candidates in this race. And earlier tonight, I called Donald Trump to tell him that I congratulated him on his victory. And now going forward, he will have my full endorsement for the presidency. And I think we're going to do the right thing for this country. As I've
How about Vivek? What do people think about him now?
I think people are saying that maybe he's the VP pick, and maybe this has been planned all along, that this was the way it was going to be.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, planned all along, because he came in, he sounded just like him. And a lot of us, me included, were like, I don't know about this guy. You know, he's Hindu. I think he's probably an Obama and all that. But the more you see him, the more I think he's backing the words that he's saying. And isn't it interesting how that happened? When he backs out, those are young Trump voters. His numbers would have gone up even more.
Our own Megan Marie, who comes in and fills in with us, just got back from a trip from India. And she said it blew her mind.
Yeah.
That there are like the right party, I guess, of India is afraid of him ascending to office in America.
Yeah, they don't like
She
him.
put that in a text to us.
Yeah.
She's going to be coming on and talking about that. And I'm like,
good. I can't
wait. What? The conservative base of India doesn't trust Vivek or Vivek. And I'm like, what? You've got to be kidding me. So Megan who just spent a couple weeks in India with people, is going to be coming on and talking about that. It is interesting as well because Terry says he was not taking votes from Trump. I agree. Robert worries about that guy.
A lot of our listeners worry
he's
about
playing
him.
this whole thing perfectly. I've always liked Vivek. Still don't trust him. Look at his hair. It's a hot mess.
Look at his hair. Well, that's where I guess him and Donald are alike as their
Vivek was a class act last night. And then Greg says, what did you think of the News Nation coverage? I didn't watch any of the News Nation
I did watch News Nation. It was very interesting.
With Chris Cuomo, what was going on?
Okay, so they were trying to be very centrist, I thought. I thought they were very centrist. You didn't see Cuomo just bashing on Donald Trump last night. And there's a guy, what's his name? Our listeners will know it. As you were looking at the guy to the right, he was on, those cop shows. You could tell he was their conservative. And so I thought News Nation and CNN really did try to stay centrist. And then you saw Fox, who also tried to say centrist, but they leaned to the right. And then you had MSNBC that was just crying all over their Wheaties. I mean,
we're going to show that.
Yeah. I mean,
it's an abomination.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how you would be the leader of MSNBC or any advertiser unless there is pure hate in your heart against America.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way.
Correct.
Hey, I would love Vivek to be on the staff somewhere. I don't want to see him as vice president.
Yeah, see, I don't trust him totally.
I want Kristi Noem as the vice presidential candidate.
Me too.
She is my favorite. She is who I want. I've seen her at events. She is very measured, very tempered, very intelligent. She has been running a business, the state of South Dakota, which has done extremely well when it comes to the economy, and she can promote that as well.
Yes. And Robert is saying Vivek could be the press secretary. He would definitely be better than KJP. He would viscerate. Oh,
he would be Kellyanne McNamee. He'd be the best.
Correct. We have some new odds as of today.
What are the new odds?
David just sent me here.
Okay,
what are new odds?
New Vegas odds?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
I can't see those. I've got there's no way to.
Okay, Joe, read them
I got it. Yeah. Can you read? I mean, it's on our.
Yeah. We got Donald Trump plus 130.
Oh, so I mean, so the odds are
Joe
even
Biden.
Better for Donald Trump now?
Yeah, the Joe Biden plus 205.
That's
Nikki
awesome.
Haley plus 1850. Michelle or Michael Obama plus 2,000. Gavin Newsom plus 2,900. Our Robert Kennedy 3,700. DeSantis 7,400.
Oh my God.
Harris 8,400.
Yeah.
Condoleezza Rice 20,000.
Yeah.
That is golden. And people don't hold enough stock in that. But
and those
are
Vegas odds
right.
from this morning, Dave?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we got some of the Vegas odds there. Yeah. I mean,
keep close contact with that because that's where the money people put their bets and their votes. So really do watch that. I'm not saying it's correct, but that's more correct than almost anything odds, you'll find.
It is. And this is why people are losing their mind in the mainstream media. Mm-hmm. Listen, okay. I being in media my entire life, I cannot believe what Rachel Maddow was saying last night.
Oh my gosh.
Rachel, and it's under Rachel Maddy when you pop that sound up.
Rachel Maddy.
Okay. She is having a meltdown. She doesn't know what the word fascist means, clearly.
She doesn't.
She likes to throw it around as if she knows what it is. And listen to her lose her mind when she started to realize that not only was Donald Trump winning, that he was winning big, that he was winning larger than what was even expected at near 60%, but also realizing that people like him.
Mm-hmm.
The big picture takeaway from that, and I don't mean to be, again, too dark, as you said, on this, but it is not, if we are worried about the rise of authoritarianism in this country, we are worried about potential rise of fascism in this country. If we're worried about our democracy falling to an authoritarian and potentially fascist form of government, the leader who is trying to do that is part of that equation. but people wanting that
Correct.
is a much bigger part of that
That's
equation. And the American electorate is made up of two major parties. One of those parties has been flirting with extremism on the ultra-right for a very long time. They've brought them in a way that they haven't been central to Republican electoral politics ever before, and I know because I've been studying this. But once you have radicalized one major party so that those are the preferences of the people who adhere to your party, the leader's interchangeable. And yes, Trumpism is sometimes what we call it. MAGA movement is probably a better way to do it. But there is an authoritarian movement inside Republican politics that isn't being bamboozled by Trump. They are pushing Trump to get more and more extreme, because the more extreme things he says, the more they adhere to him. And that is coming from a very large proportion of the American right that adheres to the Republican Party. And that's why this is a Republican Party problem more than it is the problem of one man and his leadership.
And did you notice she didn't really let anyone else talk? It almost made me seem like she was there talking to the panel about her daddy issues and projecting on her stuff. And the circle back girl, she didn't get a word in edgewise.
I mean, they had a long night. They did. They talked, and everybody got their words in over the night. We're going to show you something else in a second that was even worse than Rachel Maddow.
For sure.
But this is what the left programming is all about. This is what they say. Bamboozled. Fascism, extremism, because we want to make America great again, because we don't want illegal aliens coming in and ruining what we have, because we want law and order, because we want to follow rules, because we believe in police, because we love our military, because we don't love high inflation prices, because we want to be able to trust our government, because we want politicians who are not bought and paid for. Yet you're going to call us fascist, basically call us stupid, say that we've been bamboozled. These are the problems that we have with you, Rachel. And we know why you have the job that you have.
We do know why.
Because of DEI.
Correct.
I'm sorry. It's a fact.
It is. It is a fact.
And you could be a very good anchor. You really could. You have talent. But when you come out and say those things and call us all those names,
she's so
shame
angry.
on you. You're so angry in your heart. Where did all this anger come from? Yet there she is. She's more worried about promoting transgender issues than she is about stopping illegal aliens from coming into this country.
Correct.
Look at her. Look at what she says. This is what the left does. We got to protect all the transgender. And we're not talking about illegal aliens. It's like all about social issues. Let's not talk about the fabric of what this country is, first of all, making that great before we get into the social issues. One guy who was on the ground last night, Dr. Bob Onder, St. Louis metropolitan area politician, joining us live from Iowa. Bob, I can only imagine what it was like to be over at Trump headquarters yesterday, especially when you're at the headquarters of a winner.
Well, it was really epic yesterday. Can you all hear me now?
We certainly can. Thanks for coming back on.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Well, it was huge. Yes, we were at Trump headquarters, my family and I, my wife, Alice, and my oldest son, Bobby. And we were there making phone calls, and a lot of great visitors yesterday. Jim Jordan came by, Margie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, Byron Donalds. Had a lot of fun. My old friend Jason Smith, who served with me in the Missouri House of Representatives from Missouri, was there. It was the energy was just palpable, despite the frigid temperatures up here. And what an epic victory! 51% in a 4+ person race. There we are.
I love it. Love it.
And, that 50%, and you may have covered this earlier, was a 30-point margin of victory. The last time, the record in Iowa up before that was a 12-point victory of Bob Dole over Pat Buchanan. Pat, not the strongest of candidates, a 12-point victory. Trump over doubled that, 148 out of 49 counties. It was just great to see.
Andrew Bailey in the picture, it appears, the Missouri Attorney General. Did you have a chance to catch up with Andrew? It looked like he was in the picture with you.
Yeah, I had a chance to chat with Andrew a little bit, our treasurer, Vivek Malik. is there in the picture. State Representative Chris Lonsdale, John Simmons. No, it was a great time. Treasurer Malik brought his son, who was having a great time. It was a really great night.
Did you get a chance to see any of the Trump family by chance? Did you get a chance? Because I know that they're out campaigning and doing things like that.
Yeah, I've met Don Jr. before. Don and Eric were both there on stage with President Trump, and of course, my wife Allison is a huge Melania fan. She was not there, and
same.
Yeah. So it was great. I'm not sure if it's politics or fashion that leads Allison to love Melania, but it was great.
Did they come by? Did Don Jr. We're showing a picture of Donald Trump last night and his son after he won in a picture. I didn't know where that was taken. I just knew who took it, and I didn't know if that was at his headquarters.
Yeah, no, that doesn't seem to be the headquarters. The Don Jr. and Eric were both there at the Hy-Vee Center at the rally, the election watch party afterwards. We didn't watch for very long. My family was in the truck on the way back from our caucus, and the major media were already calling it for President Trump.
What's Iowa like right now when it comes to the politician game? You saw people, everybody was talking politics in Iowa besides the blizzard. Yeah. Is it really that much of a domination for Donald Trump? Were there people there that were like, oh my God, we can't stand him, we got to have somebody else? Or did it just seem to be, you know what, Iowa is Trump country?
Well, I will tell you something that will surprise you. First of all, yes, Iowa is Trump country. But I think, honestly, if only Republicans caucused last night, Trump would have won even more. And this is why I say that. Yeah, we arrived at about 6:15 at Beaver Creek Elementary School, and there were two tables set up. One was the table where caucus goers would, present their ID. Imagine that, presenting ID. But caucus goers would present their ID before being, checked in to the caucus auditorium. There was a second table that was a Nikki Haley table, and a long line of Democrats re-registering their party as Republicans so they could participate in the caucus.
How did you know that they were Democrats?
Because they were filling out change of registration forms.
Oh, wow. So we suspected that.
The hate is real.
So unlike in Missouri, where we do not have, sometimes people will say, I'm a registered Republican, I'm a registered Democrat. Actually, in this conversation, only I am actually a registered Republican because I've been on the ballot. And but we now have voluntary registration, but that's a little different. But they do have registered Republicans and Democrats in Iowa. And to participate in a Republican caucus, you have to be a registered Republican, but you can change your registration on the same day. So that's what they were doing. And again, it was a form that they would fill out. And there were dozens of caucus goers filling out change of registration forms. I guess they could have been changing from Libertarian or Socialist Workers Party to Republican.
We know what happened.
We do know what happened. And just to think, and DeSantis still beat her with all of her Democrat support. So you could imagine she would have had none really then.
Yeah, I was thrilled to see Governor DeSantis beat Nikki Haley.
Me too.
Especially,
but it was tight, Bob. It was tight.
It was very tight. But especially and again, I'm not crazy about her policy. The idea that the internet overlords have to know our identity before we can say anything online. The idea that you really can't send enough resources to Ukraine. Her equivocation on the life issue and so on. And I guess she's pro pediatric gender care. So no, I don't like Nikki Haley on policy, but watching the Democrats cheat last night to benefit Nikki Haley was especially disheartening and really, to me, told me everything I needed to know. There's no question that Donald Trump is the candidate the swamp fears the most. Nikki Haley is the candidate the swamp would like to see the most. But I'm really tired, guys, of the media and the establishment picking our party's nominee. Think about it. They did it with Bob Dole. They did it with John McCain. They did it with Mitt Romney. The media will have a favorite candidate that they get behind and give them, really tens of millions of dollars worth of free media. And then once our party is stupid enough to pick that weak candidate, then the media turns on that candidate, Mitt Romney, John McCain, and elects the Democrat.
It's not happening in 2024, Bob.
We're not playing that game in 2024, are we?
No, hell no, we're not. And the other thing that's interesting, Bob, you bring up, I wanted to touch upon it real quick, talking about Democrats playing. Democrats get to play in the voting next Tuesday for the Republican primary as well. Yes. Democrats can cross over. I just want to remind people, Democrats can have a say in New Hampshire. But it is interesting because Trump dominated that back in 2016, though.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think that Vivek Ramaswamy dropping out and endorsing Trump, I think he was the most Trump-like candidate. Ramaswamy never criticized President Trump, but he was the most Trump-like candidate. So I think, his, whatever the percentage is right now in New Hampshire, if you polled yesterday, maybe 8, 10, 12%, I think those Ramaswamy voters will vote for President Trump. And I think then hopefully that will put Nikki Haley out of all of our misery.
Well, so Dr. Onder, I've got a question for you. So Missouri is going back to a caucus, and anybody that is familiar with what happened in 2012, how can we in Missouri or anywhere else that's having a caucus, especially if it's the first time in a long time, what do you recommend our listeners do? Can they participate in the caucus? What can we do to make sure that we put Donald Trump on the map, so to speak, for any of our states?
Absolutely. Yeah, your listeners should go out and participate in the caucus. Especially if they're Trump supporters, but no, if they are Ron DeSantis supporters, Nikki Haley supporters, I think we need as many actual Republicans participating in our caucuses as we can get, so that we Republicans will choose our nominee for president of the United States and not be swamped with Democrats. When I was running for the Missouri Senate in 2014, one of my opponents, had big labor support. She was given, I think $250,000 by the union bosses, and the unions sent out letters to their membership saying, even if you usually take a Democrat ballot and consider yourself a Democrat, take a Republican ballot in this primary and vote for thus and such candidate. Even though Democrats try this, it usually doesn't work. I won a three-way race with 62% of the vote and defeated that candidate by a 3-1 margin. So it doesn't usually work. But as Lord Acton said, all that's necessary for evil to triumph is that good men do nothing. We can't take anything for granted. We can't take Trump's victory in Iowa or New Hampshire for granted. We need to keep up the enthusiasm, keep going. But no, any of your listeners can caucus for Donald Trump.
Hey, Bob, while we have you on the phone talking with Dr. Bob Onder and politician, what office are you running for anymore?
Well,
we know about lieutenant governor. Is it state senator?
Yeah.
Is it U.S. representative?
Look, I served my 8 years in the Missouri State Senate. I am term limited out. They swore in my successor, Nick Shore, who's a great guy. So no, I'm not running for a state Senate. I was 2 weeks ago, I was running for lieutenant governor, and then our Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer threw everyone a curveball by announcing his retirement. Things in Washington are so bad. The Biden crime family running rampant.
That's what we call them.
Spending our children and our grandchildren into fiscal oblivion. Every man, woman, and child in the United States owes $100,000 because of the reckless spending by Democrats and Republicans over the decades. We're weak abroad, and that's given rise to these conflicts. We're begging foreign dictators for oil instead of being energy independent. So we really, the Onder family really has to look at how we can best serve, whether that is the lieutenant governor race or the congressional District 3 race.
Do you want our opinion? Can we tell you what to do?
Yeah, let's tell them what to do. Let's tell them.
Can you please go run for that congressional seat?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do. Again, we now more than ever.
We're on the same page, right, Liz?
Yeah, we're on the same page.
I just want to make
we're
sure.
on the same page. Absolutely.
Well, I have to admit that going to Washington, D.C. and serving as a congressman with Donald J. Trump as our president is very appealing. But please pray for us as our family makes that decision.
No, we will. I know Donald Trump's called an extremist, and I know you've heard the same things. That's for sure.
Here, you know what he is? Here, let me show you what he is.
Show us.
He is an extreme MAGA Republican.
Yes, he is. Hey, can I ask you one more question before we let you go? All right, there was a controversy on our show yesterday about the white hat that he had on. Was the white hat because now he's part of Q and he's coming back and he's going to save our military? Or was it? There it is. There it is. Or is it because
we were going to get into this? This is great.
Yes. Or was it because it's just simply captains of the caucus?
I love this show.
So could you please air that out for us?
Yeah, the white hat is Iowa. It's Iowa Caucus.
Give me some, Lizzie. You got.
It's funny. It's funny. The left makes garbage up. I have been, involved in politics as a conservative for decades now, and I don't think I've ever met anyone who's quote QAnon or Q or whatever. I don't think I've ever met a white supremacist. The left just makes this garbage up to demonize us.
Correct.
It's really pathetic. And I mean, for heaven's sakes, now it's really a fascistic tactic. And now the left is even demonizing Jews. Dictators, totalitarians throughout history have done this to their opponents, and dictators and totalitarians throughout history have been anti-Semitic, consistently so, not just Hitler, but Stalin, Mussolini, and so on. It's really. The left is crazy, but yeah, I think Biden's words were extreme MAGA Republican, I think is the latest words with which they demonize us. Look, we're not falling for it. I don't think the American people are falling for it. And I think if last night was a celebration, I think in November we're going to have an even bigger celebration.
Yeah, baby. Where'd you get that white hat, by the way, Bob?
Oh, well, I was a Trump. Actually, I was not a Trump caucus captain. I was a Trump caucus surrogate, which meant I was asked to go and speak on behalf of Donald Trump at one of the caucuses. I was Donald
big deal.
Trump.
That is a big deal.
Me this, and I'll show you the other one. It has a signature from Donald Trump.
Oh, that's cool.
That's beautiful.
It's an active subject. It's an active subject of debate in the Onder family whether that is an original signature, whether the man himself, whether this is a.
Can you show it closer to your camera so we can see the signature up close?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That is so cool, Bob.
Yeah, whether this is a second-degree relic actually signed by the man himself, or whether that was made by some sort of printing machinery. But either way, we're honored and privileged to be up here. It's been a great time, and we're gonna put some hand warmers in the gloves and make the trek back home.
Yeah, safe travels back. Let us know as soon as
we will.
Your very first, hey, I'm making this decision. You and your family pray. It's hey, I got to cancel this.
I got to call. I got to call Vic and Lizzie tomorrow.
It's my first call.
That's right.
Let us know, Bob. We've had your back. You know that.
And you could do red hat for one.
Thank you so much.
White hat.
Together, we're going to make America great again.
You betcha.
All right, bud. Have a great Tuesday. Thanks for your time.
God bless.
Thanks for calling back.
My God, Bob Onder with a white hat.
I love that. I love that. Well, we had such a talk about that white hat. And then I learned that literally the caucus captains had them on. But I was like, I just wondered if he had a white hat, because now, you know what people are going to say about Bob Onder now, don't you? If they see that, they're going to say.
Well, he's already been called racist, extremist.
But now
Q.
Now he's going to be a Q, anon, white hat. Right hat.
You
racist.
white supremacist. You suck.
Yeah, they're going to call him all
terrible.
kinds of names now.
You white privileged piece of whatever. This is cancelthisshow.com. Real quick as we continue the show, shout out to our partners on the show, Amini's in the Chesterfield Valley. Check them out. All of our advertisers are on our page, cancelthisshow.com. You click on our partners. We have context, literally the links that take you right to their pages. Amini's, the leading supplier in traditional infrared saunas and saltwater hot tubs. They're amazing. They're affordable. And oh yeah, there's all kinds of research, real research, not Fauci made up research, real research on how they help your body, how they help your heart, how they help your life longevity. Also, experienced real estate partners. Rates are starting to go down a little bit, and people are starting to look at buying more homes. You got to have a plan, as Kathy Helbig Strict has, and of course, your mortgage needs taken care of by Steve Strict, New American Funding, and also their side company. Lizzie has checked it out. New Age Health Wellness, as people try to get their hormones in order. Being taken care of by doctors, how you get your blood work done to see what is on the inside that needs to be taken care of as well. Of course, Route 66 Cannabis, the fast lane to the Midwest premier cannabis shopping experiences, 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metro area. And if you haven't tried out the Ostara line, you can get that in stores all across the state. Also, WeQuip, that's WeQuip USA. You go to their site, you can rent whatever, anything out. You can be creative, whatever you have in your house. You can rent yourself out. You can do whatever. And people go there to rent items. Or you can put something up there, or you can go there and, of course, rent from other people. It is a fantastic site, WeQuip USA. And, of course, Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley. Some of the best pizza, burgers, wings, smoked meats you're going to find. They got stuck. The Cons who own Wenty's, they went for a family vacation. They hadn't done one in a long time, so they went to the Bahamas. Got a great deal. And they can't get back to St. Louis.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, there's no flights to St. Louis.
Why? What happened?
They just, because of weather and because of things that went through the South. So they were stuck. Said they'd be in Florida today. They were hoping to get out of the Bahamas yesterday. So I don't know if anybody's traveling, but the airline industry causing some issues as well right now. So we appreciate everybody jumping in today. And if you have ideas on advertisers for anybody else, let us know. Cancelthisshow.com. You can go to Vic at cancelthisshow.com or Lizzie at cancelthisshow.com. By the way, we also rent the studio out. Tuesday's a big day. Lots of shows. We have 3 more shows today, taping today. 2, 3?
Yes, 3.
3 shows. Busy day. Nothing like dealing with traffic. Race it into the show, right? Put out all the fires, Joe.
Oh, man, it was fun.
It was fun.
And then we got 3 more shows to go, baby.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning.
Cancel this. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, of course. But you can catch out all of our episodes, or check out and catch all of our episodes on cancelthisshow.com Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time, of course, on our website. We are appreciative of that. Damn, that was a fast hour, but this is the 2 fastest hours in broadcasting and podcasting. At least we believe that, right?
Yeah, it goes by really fast.
I mean, the white hat made it for me.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that in a second. But
I cleared it all up, didn't it?
Don't you like being called a racist because you're white and Christian and a Donald Trump liker? Check out Joy Reid. We were showing MSNBC stuff from last night.
Yeah.
This is Joy Reid. Now, Joy Reid makes a living. She gets paid to say very nasty things about white people. She is on somebody's payroll besides MSNBC's to create controversy, to not look for commonalities, but to be as divisive as hell, to start as much crap as she possibly can, especially on Martin Luther King holiday, because that's what he was all about. Causing problems, of course, not. Just listen to what Joy Reid had to say about Trump's dominating and historical win in Iowa last night.
New Hampshire. And I think to the point that you made, Steph, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. She's still a brown lady. that's got to try to win in a party that is deeply anti-immigrant and which accepts the notion that you can say immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. She's getting, birthered by Donald Trump. And I don't care how much the donor class likes her, which will ramp up a lot, the better she does in New Hampshire. So it's still a challenge. I don't see how she becomes the nominee of that party with Donald Trump still around. I can't picture it happening. Maybe it could happen. Ron DeSantis' only argument for staying in it is he's the white guy, that he can still make the appeal to white evangelists.
While we have
Oh, yeah.
She is just nasty.
How does that make you feel? If that's not one of the most racist people I've ever heard on television, I don't know who it is.
Birthered? What the?
Yeah, she makes up words, I think. I think she makes them up. And you're too dumb, Joe. And Vic and I are too dumb. And all of our listeners are too dumb to understand what she's saying. Because, Joe, she's so much smarter than the rest of us. They make up words. They make up crap. They make up these social justice bullshit words. And then when we don't understand them, they're like, well, that's because Vic.
Is birther the same as cis? I mean, that seems around the same.
Yes, I think what they did is a person that can give birth. It's a female that can give birth, but they can't say females can give birth because then that contradicts their whole narrative. So they just make up words.
Oh my God, Megan with the quote of the day.
Oh.
Megan on demand. We just talked about you, Megan. Birthered, her math ain't mathin'.
Right, her math ain't mathin'. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Jeannie says she needs a new wig. Maybe. Donna says, I'm a birther. Look, she won't look at that host.
Right.
With a laugh. Donna says, love her haircut. Maybe Donna loves it. I don't know. Maybe you're being sarcastic. I can't tell.
Did she also call Nikki Haley a brown woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She started off her comment by calling her a brown woman.
And that's a compliment to them because
But I want to know how.
No, here's why.
Nikki Haley's not brown at all.
Well, I'll tell you why she called her brown.
Ugh.
Because in this day and age, if you don't look exactly white, or if you can kind of just claim some sort of entitlement,
anything but
you'll
white.
cling.
You're brown if you're anything but white.
Because Nikki Haley is Indian. A lot of people.
I had no idea.
A lot of people forget that Nikki Haley is Indian. Her parents are Sikh, by the way. Her real name is not Nikki Haley. Her real name is Nimarata. It's Nimarata, and I'm trying to remember her last name. If you have it, Dave, say it. But I believe her first name is Nimarata. And she's Indian, so that's why Joy Reid is calling her
Nimarata Nikki Randhamwa.
Yeah, Randhamwa. So she's
Randhamwa.
Indian, and that's why Joy Reid is saying what she's saying on there.
Because she can't call her an Indian; she has to just call her.
She's
brown.
Vivek's Indian, same thing. But she didn't want to. Yeah, but she didn't want to talk about Vivek, did she? No, she didn't want to talk about. You know why she selectively chose that? Because Vivek is supporting Trump as a brown man.
Right.
Vivek's a brown man.
That is so ridiculous.
He's real brown.
Well, and you know what? Jeannie on our chat line, she's like, dude, I'm really tan in the summer. I'm not brown, I'm tan. But, she could be a brown woman.
You know what's funny? When I worked at Fox 2, one of the dumbest things I ever heard my news director and general manager say, and I guarantee it came from one of my co-anchors, because the co-anchor would always tell the news director, well, his hair looks too hip. I was literally told that I look too hip and I look too young.
Oh.
Literally. But one of the funniest things I ever heard in the summer.
That's good.
The last summer before I worked, I was told, hey, I was literally called into the office. This is a pressing issue. I was called into the office and told, Vic, you need to use more sunblock. And I was like, what?
Because you had too much color on your face.
They said they said you get too tan in the summer.
Oh, and that's not good for the camera?
No. Just, you look like you're tan. And I'm like, what does that mean? I was told, well, it looks like you're like partying out and like you're out partying and stuff, like unprofessional. And I'm like,
oh, stop it. Stop it.
Are you kidding? I was like, what?
Stop it.
And I smiled and I laughed and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
You need to wear powder wigs too.
Yeah. And I was told, well, it seems like on weekends you're out in the sun and on Mondays and you come in and you're really tan. Yeah. And then I was told, hey, this isn't just coming from me. This is coming from the big guy, talking about the general manager.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like going, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. So it's funny. We talk about colored skin. I love the show. We can share things. Imagine being told that you're too tan.
Right, too tan.
Sorry,
Well, when
Vic.
your ratings are number one and everything's going, I guess you got to find something.
I think you look like a blonde Conan O'Brien.
Oh, how about that?
That's a compliment.
But I'm not
That's
tan.
good.
But I'm not tan right now.
Huh. Well, somebody on the chat line, I think it was Kevin, said that you would, when you have a tan, then you could be Vivek.
Yeah,
Instead,
there we go.
You could be Brown Vic.
Well, no, I'm not brown, and I don't want to say that. But you party animal because you're tan. Bendy says jealousy.
That's what it is for sure.
But anyway, so
I mean, just like to Bendy's point, was he just not a very good looking guy? And you are. So he was like,
nah,
you look too good looking with your brown face.
I don't know. But I was told, you're too tan.
You're too tan.
Glenn says her real name, Nikki Haley's, is Nimrata Obama.
I just wonder why
Dude,
she
you
isn't.
guys rock. By the way, we
That's
enjoy
awesome.
we enjoy one of the best chat lines that you're going to find in
Anywhere.
America. So
Anywhere.
thank you for everybody jumping in.
Oh,
I just wonder why she doesn't use her real name on the ticket.
you would think that would help her, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like these days, if you sound like you're not a white
I don't know.
person named Jane or Bob.
Well, especially with the left backing her now. So, I mean, like, she
Good
should
point.
definitely use her real name.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've been called a Nimrod in my life, though.
You've been called a Nimrod?
Nimrod, Nimrata. The
Nimrod?
names sound very much alike. They
Okay.
just do.
Mhm.
Have you ever heard the word Nimrod, Joe?
I've heard the term Nimrod, but I don't
I've been
know
called.
why.
Have you ever been called a Nimrod?
I'm sure
I've
at
been
some
called a
point by
Nimrod.
somebody.
Okay, so what is a Nimrod?
I don't even know.
Somebody on the chat line, tell us, why would somebody call Vic
Here
or
they go.
Joe a Nimrod?
No, you're opening
It's
it
the
up.
name of a Green
It's going to
Day
say
album.
Joe Biden,
Yeah.
Barack Obama.
But what does it
That's-
mean?
They're going to say
Well,
what
and
Nimrods are.
Todd says Nimrod
Joy
is in
Reid.
the Bible. What does that mean, Todd? Tell us, what does it mean? Yeah. But then like Megan
Nimrod
says,
is a biblical name.
is a bit, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So it's just a name. So you're a Nimrod. Okay, so I guess, all right. So are you Saint Vic? Is that what it is?
What are you
Is that what a
talking about?
Nimrod is?
I don't
Is that
know.
a good word or is he a bad
Glenn
person?
says
I
that's a
should know
skater
that.
boy term.
Okay, see,
That's a shot at me.
Nimrod was a bad dude. That's what I thought too.
Hey, Nimrod is a skillful hunter.
Woohoo!
That's what
Okay, see,
the
there you go.
actual
Nimrata.
definition is.
Well, her name is
or,
Nimrata. I don't care what she calls herself.
or
I
it
mean,
could be a foolish or an inept person.
maybe it's the same reason why
Oh.
Barack went with Barack Obama, and a lot of times at first not Barack Hussein,
Correct. That could be.
because you didn't hear a lot of Barack Hussein at first.
In college, his boyfriend called him Barry.
Oh my God,
He did.
that's the best.
He did. Michael. Michelle
Yes, there's a lot of things that
called him
rhyme
Barry.
with Vic. That's for sure. Roland says, I'm calling it right now. Nikki will begin throwing nonsense out at conservatives, or at least the Republican base, about not being diverse enough.
Oh, I think he's right. I think that's coming
Well,
for sure.
anything and everything will be used in what's going on. Barry Soetoro,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Yep.
If you look at it, who his dad
Correct. That's exactly right.
was and who they're associated with.
Mhm.
Isn't she proud of her name? I don't know.
Is Haley her married name? Where'd she get that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I guess I should have paid attention to that, but I didn't. 'Cause I just never thought she was going to win.
Derek says, actually, Lizzie, Barack called his boyfriend Michael.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's true.
Oh my God, I love
That's
this
true.
show. That is
Yeah,
great.
Nikki Haley is apparently married to Michael Haley.
Okay.
So that is her
Yeah.
married name.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Nimrata Haley. She should be Nimrata. Where did Nikki come from?
It's probably a
I guarantee she
nickname.
said because when she was in this country and grew up here,
Yeah.
people did not understand and know how to
Correct.
use her name. It was a different time. And if you talk to the Indian population, not as accepted with those names.
True.
That is certainly not the case anymore. And maybe she made a name for herself because post-college at Clemson, she joined the family clothing business. So she became a
okay.
successful businesswoman, which led into her political life.
Yeah.
And that's not an uncommon way for people to get into politics, have success in business, specifically business owners, and then go into politics. Hell, you could be a damn good politician, Lizzie.
I'm being asked to be a politician.
I
right
love
now.
you here.
I'm not
but
going
damn,
to do
You
it.
could be out making legislation.
I don't know about that. But
I could totally see people wanting you to be a politician. And I just said that. I could totally see it.
People keep calling me from more of the county that I live in to be on their central committee because there's a lot of wackadoodles on our central committee or go be a mayor or whatever. But it's, we already have one politician in the family. We don't need to have the daggers thrown so many different ways. I'll just talk on here.
Okay. But we like you here. That's for sure. You brought up the white hat conspiracy. And because Donald Trump had his white hat on. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, right?
We did.
And then go figure, Bob Onder, you bring it up. Bob Onder has a white hat with him in his Iowa October.
And he did.
Let me get a drink. Hold on a second. This is getting good.
This is getting good. Okay. The white hat thing, it played all into that. And I could see somebody like Bob Onder, they would call him a white hat. Maybe good, maybe bad. And they could be the Qs or it could be the Democrats.
You white supremacist.
Right.
Well, Derek Pratt, also another member of our show who comes in.
Yeah, I love Derek.
The male Megan.
The male Megan, yes.
There we go. He tried to start some controversy up last night, so much so.
That was so fun.
Well, we got a picture of it. So much so that Joe had to ask him if he had hit Route 66 and smoked some really good stuff last night.
That's right.
Okay,
look at this.
Let's talk about this, people, because we like to do all the stories, but then the stories within the stories.
Right. This is the story within the story. So
Trump stage last night. There are 17 flags.
Correct.
That Donald Trump had on his stage. Is that by chance or is that by design? And if it is by design, why would he have 17 flags on his stage? I will repeat again for our listeners on the podcast. We are showing a picture of Donald Trump's stage last night where he accepted the win at the Iowa Caucus. By the way, have I said it was a historical win yet? The biggest blowout win ever?
Say it again. It makes me feel good. You probably said it, but I want to hear it like 5 more times before the show's over. Trump wins Iowa. That's
a man on a mission. So we've got 17. Here we go. So we put it out there for our viewers and our listeners. And leave it to Robert Peterbaugh out of Detroit, Michigan. 17 equals Q. Okay. Well, I got to know what that means.
But you know why it is? Because it's the 17th letter of the alphabet is Q, to clear that up.
Or, as Jeannie says, they're not 17 flags. There's 18 flags if you count the big one.
Correct. I kept counting it wrong because I was counting the big flag.
You should have been. You're a teacher.
So I was like, okay, so poor Derek was like having so much not fun with me because I kept going, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Kimberly
he was really
says,
pushing that.
Kimberly says he usually does have 17 flags.
Correct.
So why would Donald Trump have 17? All about Q, and I don't want to get into Q stuff, but if it takes us there and that's a fact, then I'm fine.
Me too. I'm fine with it too. So I want to know why. And some of our listeners are saying, yes, it is. So the 17th letter is Q.
Okay. So what does that mean then?
Well, then it was here. Let me find what Derek was saying.
Okay, because here's what else. That's the one thing. So I've heard this before, and after our conversation, I wrote something. I went and looked it up, and I was right in what I'd heard. 7 is a number from a biblical standpoint, which is considered perfection.
Right. That's
godly
what you heard.
Perfection. 10 is order.
Correct.
Like perfect order. So if you have 10 and 17 together, those numbers would be a perfect order. Right. And there you have 17 from a biblical stance. Is that though why Donald Trump posed 17 flags?
Well, I don't know. Okay, so you know how Donald Trump, we talked about this yesterday.
7 plus 10, Joe, equals 17.
I completely understand the math.
Okay.
My math is math.
I get it.
All right, so there's a
I just
picture.
don't get it.
I'm just, instead of sending it, okay? See that picture? Kind of.
Yeah, okay. Donald Trump in a white hat with pizza boxes.
With pizza boxes. Okay, so 17, according to him, is a letter of the alphabet, and I'm supposed to read into the photo. So according to Derek, so there's pizza, and it says that you heard it was about perfection, but Derek says it's a conspiracy with Q, that the white hats are delivering the pizza to the first responders, which means Q, which is the flags.
Yeah, but the flags aren't in that picture.
I know, but apparently with
Who said this?
Derek.
Derek, you've lost your mind, dude.
And that you
dude,
have to
I
have
love you, Derek.
White hats are delivering, which white hats are the good guys and black hats are the bad guys. And they're delivering pizza to first responders. And Pizzagate and first responders means that they're in charge of the trafficking now. Like, and Derek said, Vic, you haven't been down enough rabbit holes to understand.
I ain't going down the rabbit holes.
Pizza is a meaning.
I don't think you've eaten as many gummies as Derek ate.
Well, and Derek said there are nuggets and that he's from the show me state and that this is all biblical. And yes, it could be muddy waters. But if you are into Q, that's what Q is saying, that the pizzas also, along with the hat, along with the flags, means it's the white guys saving sex trafficking.
Derek, I love you throwing out the possible conspiracy because it's fun to talk about.
I love it. I love that Derek does that.
We put a little disclaimer on it. And then we go to town and have fun.
Correct.
I can see the reason for 17
I can
flags,
too.
But not that.
Oh, but yours is a different reason.
Because of the perfect number 17.
Correct.
That is what I can see. 7 and 10 because of a biblical standpoint equaling 17.
Correct. And I see both of your points of view. I'm just from Missouri. You have to show me. And it's not that I haven't gone down that rabbit hole.
If people have to show you, then they're never going to show you, which means you're never going to have a conspiracy proven correct.
Well, see, and that was the thing that I had talked about yesterday, that after Donald Trump lost, well, he didn't lose. I knew that they stole the election. People started telling me to go down that rabbit hole. I went down the rabbit hole so far that I wanted to believe what they were saying.
I know that's when I met you and I threw a rope down there.
Yeah, you did. And you pulled me back up.
I said, Lizzie, tie that around your waist.
Right.
And hold on. And I'm going to pull you slowly out of your rabbit hole.
So I'm slowly out of the rabbit hole.
And Derek said, nope, cut that rope.
Get back down there, Lizzie. Get down in the rabbit hole. But see, I wanted to believe everything in that rabbit hole because I knew that the election was stolen. But here is where I got lost and I didn't believe everything in the rabbit hole anymore was, I don't know if it was Q. I don't know if it was Anon. I know there's no such thing as QAnon, but they would give dates. And I know supposedly Q didn't give dates, but they would give a date. Okay, Donald Trump's coming back this day. He's going to wear a white hat and this is going to happen. And he's going to go get the sex traffickers. But nothing, they couldn't prove anything to me. I want you to tell me I'm from Missouri. Show me.
Let's keep Q in the closet.
Right, but it's fun to talk about because we do have some listeners that are very smart and they believe this.
I think we should keep Q by the gummies. All right.
We'll keep Q by the gummies. Well, maybe that's the thing. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, somebody said Lizzie in a well, her old house. Creepy enough.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Because we've talked about this on the show.
Because you lived with a ghost.
Times. I lived with a ghost. So did Eric.
But Jeannie's saying, listen, I'm going down with 18 flags. It's not 17.
Okay, let's do that.
It was enough flags to put it behind, but who knows? Who cares?
Right.
Donna says, people, what is this? Alice in Wonderland?
Right.
One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small, Derek.
I don't know. That's right. Well, and Derek's saying the letter Q is also considered the highest security clearance. Look at the aerial view of JFK's burial site at Arlington. And then I also said last night, okay, if any of that's true, and since Donald Trump already knows who his VP is, it's going to be John Jr.
Oh, stop it.
Well, I'm not saying that's true. I'm just saying I'm going along with the conspiracy. I don't believe that. I don't believe John Jr. is even alive. I don't.
I can't have you turn it into Alex Jones on me, okay?
Yeah, I don't believe he's alive. I wish he was alive, but I don't believe it.
I don't doubt that there's a significance between the number of flags because you can't tell me Trump just throws as many flags as they have on hand on the stage. I mean, there's got to be a reason.
There has to be a reason. One, I agree.
Right.
Which is why I'm going with the perfection.
Okay.
Perfection
and
order.
Lisa's saying Q is actually the 18th letter of the alphabet. Oh my gosh, you'd think I would know that letter.
What?
Okay. Well, whatever. So 17 or 18. Well, there is 18 flags up on the stage if you count the big one. The big flag.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
100%. And we noticed that.
That's right. We did notice that. And I agree with you, Joe. I think there's a significance to the flag.
It's the 17th letter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who said 18?
I don't know. I'm so confused. It says our math ain't mathin', Derek.
I had to ask Google.
Yeah. Okay, so Q is what letter of the alphabet? 17.
17.
Okay.
According
17.
to Google.
Well, and that's what I counted. Lisa was trying to trip me up.
Oh my God.
Come on, Lisa.
Oh my God. Yeah, just stay away from
Okay,
that.
so Todd asked a great question, and then we'll stop talking about Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, we got other Cubs stories.
He's like, where is the Q headquarters located? See, I've never found that out. No one has ever told me. So I don't know about that. So there you go. Okay. If anybody on that chat line can tell me where the Q headquarters is, I will go do a show from there. Tell me where it is, and I will.
Joe,
Vic probably won't show up there, but I'll show up there.
I
You
sent
will
you
show up?
an email. If you can run that sound, that would be great if it's going to work.
So this is your homework chat line. And anybody listening after the fact, text me, DM me, email me, whatever, and tell me where Q headquarters is.
I'll take a stab. I know where they are.
Where are they?
They're probably in Antarctica.
That's right. I bet they're in Antarctica. Well, would
This
they
is
let us
quickly
in
turning into a free-for-all conspiracy theory Friday. Although I did see a video where a daughter interviewed her dad, and he's an ex-CIA agent, and only was allowed to give her some answers. She asked him some really good questions. She said, "Where's the safest place on Earth?" And he said, "Probably Antarctica." And then she asked him how much of military information is actually top secret. And he's like, 20%. She said, what weapon scares you the most? And then he thought about it for a while, and he goes, hypersonic weapons.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I know. So, but the Antarctica thing is what made me think about that. Hey, yesterday, or was it last week, I introduced you to Wesley Hunt. He's making a lot of noise in Texas. He's an African-American politician.
That's right.
He was doing an event, and watch what happened. This woman, I think it's queued up to the right spot, Joe, or this person starts calling him a racist because he supports Trump. Check this out.
After indictment and witch hunt after witch hunt, he still stays loyal to this country. That's why he's doing this. I've been black my entire life. Today, black man, today is stand here and talk about the racist. Today can a black man talk to us about a racist?
Oh my. Wow.
Oh, say. I bring up the segregation, okay, because I come from a district in Houston, Texas, that's a majority white district. And I won by 30 points. Because on days like this, I realize I am literally being judged, not by the color of my skin, by the content of my character.
Yeah, he was ripped by another black man. And this is the worst part, because black people will rip black people if they vote Republican.
They do.
And I can say that because we had a man sit right in our studio
Yes, we did.
and tell us that. And tell us he doesn't know why, and it shouldn't be that way all the time. It should be about each individual person. Well, this black man who was ripping Wesley Hunt, former military, served our country, won by 30 points in an all-white district against white people. Okay? So the black man that was ripping this black man who is educated, served our country, of degrading himself.
Yeah.
Because he was supporting Donald Trump. This is the kind of crap that's out there. Also said he is turning his back on the black race because, oh yeah, Donald Trump is a racist, man. This is the kind of stuff that's out there that media has been able to get through with certain people who are educated from a book standpoint, and people who aren't, might just be from the street or be street smart. There is that ad. Oh, Donald Trump's racist to black. Really? Why is his ratings the highest of any politician ever in the black community?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we know why. Because Donald Trump, and look at all the pictures Look at all the people of African Americans who wanted to be with Donald Trump, celebrities, people of note, because of all the money that he gave, all the money that he raised, and how he took care of people until he ran for president.
Correct.
And then you have racist people like that guy. We have no idea who he is. And of course, people like Joy Reid.
Yeah, they are
who
so
said
racist.
that you're racist.
And they're so mean to their own race. So
Megan says racist just means if you don't agree with me, you're racist.
That's exactly right.
And that's the easy way. And that's the entitlement society. And that's the entitlement message that we have seen that has been thrown out so often.
So
all
overused.
over the place.
So overused.
But Wesley Hunt, check him out. I follow him on Instagram because I love his stuff.
He's great.
Wasn't Ben Carson called the black face of white supremacy?
Yes.
I don't remember specifically that, but I don't doubt that.
They were so mean to him. So mean to him. And they called him the black face of white supremacy and called him an Uncle Tom.
Tim Scott called the same thing in South Carolina, especially as he supported Trump and tried to run for president before he suspended his campaign as well.
Correct.
It's unfortunate, but those are some of the things that happen. And of course, it is ironic. Biden is the biggest racist I've ever seen, according to Jeannie. And all you have to do is look at the comments that he has made over the years that the media suppresses and does not show you.
For sure.
But that doesn't mean it's not happening, which is why we try to focus on that here and bring that all to light. Once again, it's been a big show regarding what happened in Iowa, Donald Trump dominating the field. Vivek, if you're just joining us now, joining Donald Trump, he is going to be campaigning for him as well. And I think I heard that he's going to be in New Hampshire.
I've heard that. I haven't heard it confirmed, but that would be great if he did.
And the other thing, which I said last week, was reported by Laura Loomer. She says that expect whoever isn't doing as well, and it may take some time. Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis joining the same ticket.
I've heard that too.
I don't know if that would be a good thing or a bad thing.
They hate each other, or the perception is that they hate each other, but
Just
can
like
their combined votes even beat him?
Kamala and Joe did not like each other.
Yeah, they still don't like each other.
And it showed that it did not make a good team in the White House.
True.
He tells her to do something and she laughs at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he forgets who he told what to do and what day it is. And oh my God, do we have our chocolate chip ice cream? But
I hope Ron
DeSantis
does not lower himself to that level, because I do like Ron
Desperate
DeSantis.
times call for desperate measures.
Yeah,
and
they're
this,
two desperate people.
And this once thought of great politician does not have the appeal that he had. And that's not me ripping, that's just stating a fact. He doesn't.
Right.
And he's been put in a lot of bad situations. And poor guy, he listen, I don't know if there's a soul alive that actually thought Donald Trump could win the election in 2024 after January 6th.
No, they didn't.
On January 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and so on, there is no way in hell anybody thought Donald Trump could make a comeback.
Well, you know why he did.
And he did. So, Ron, there is hope for you, but you got to know your place.
Correct.
You've got to get with the right people. You can't get into the deep state.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you apologize to Donald.
Yeah.
After Donald resurrected your career,
Correct.
maybe he'd take you under his wing.
I think he would, because
Donald let you come and sit on his lap and he'd pat you on the head and say, little Ronnie, because he literally would fit on his lap.
Well, and tell him
and say,
you don't
Ronnie,
have to wear
listen,
the high shoes.
You have done a great job in Florida. You stood up against the power. Now, go back down to Florida, continue to do what you've done. I'll use you when I need you.
Mm-hmm.
Try to stay away from the deep state as best as you possibly can. Try to raise as much money as you possibly can. And then when I finish, you and I can start to work together again. I'll try to bring you in. I can help you. But I think it's too late. The only way that relationship goes is if Ron gives a public apology.
I agree.
And this is what Ron DeSantis fans go, oh, you just want him to bow at the kneel of your king. No, but Ron kind of screwed things up.
Correct.
Even Nikki Haley, I think people forget this. There's video. I watched this yesterday. Do you know that Nikki Haley said that she would never run for president if Donald Trump was running for president?
She sure did.
Nikki Haley said that. If Donald Trump is running, I won't run against him. And then the money starts getting thrown at you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, hey, oh, yeah, look at this money. I worked at the United Nations. I know what kickbacks are all about. I know what deep state money is. And then she did.
Yeah, she did it.
And she's getting destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has a chance to fare well in New Hampshire, where Democrats are a serious part of it. You don't have to go re-sign. in New Hampshire. I don't believe you have to re-sign like you did in Iowa.
I think
you can just go vote.
Mm-hmm.
She has a shot there with all the Democrats. Outside that, she has no shot. And poor Ron has no shot in New Hampshire. He has no shot in South Carolina. And when Trump destroys Haley in her own home state in South Carolina, if you can't win your own home state, you should not be allowed to run for president.
Correct.
Right?
I agree.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. If people don't like you in your own state, that's the end of it. That is the end of it. And it's
But
sad
she did
they
say that she would never run for president.
Sure did.
And it just goes to show you what money will do.
Correct. Money, power. And she really, do you really think when she talks, do you really think she thinks she can win? Or do you think it's just the money and people talk her into it? And she knows she
No, she knows she can't. There's not a candidate alive. And if there is somebody that actually thinks that they can win, you need to send them for an evaluation right now.
Mm-hmm.
They all know that they can't win. They're hoping and praying that something bad happens to Donald. That's the only reason that they're in this. And to make money.
But the deep state overplayed their hand, Vic, because if they had just maybe indicted him once or twice, maybe people would believe it. But when they kept indicting, everybody, even the farthest left people went, okay, they overplayed their hand. And so he's not going to go to jail. It's not going to happen.
He may be convicted. But I don't, and then there's appeals.
Yes.
And then the media will try to run, oh, you would elect a convicted. You know what?
Doesn't matter.
You put a convicted next to his name and all the crap that's been thrown against the wall, it'll only give him more power to go along with that page, with that photo you had to have. You had to have that mugshot because it was so important to have that mugshot.
Yeah.
It won't do anything but increase Donald Trump. Because he is kicking everybody's ass right now, he is rolling through. Do you know he was up for he was up for 24 straight hours?
I believe that. I think he does that.
Joe Biden can't stay up for 3 hours, without having a nap, without having a vacation. Donald Trump is going full go. The guy is working harder than any of us right now, moving, shaking, getting things done, and we're just calling the facts the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you just love Donald Trump. No, I've ripped Donald Trump a lot over the years, but I'm telling you what he's doing now is remarkable.
Yeah.
It is really remarkable because he's having to deal with this campaign. He's having to deal with the legal issues that were thrown against him. And then there he is every day just trying to figure out how he's going to fix this country, because it's one thing to become the champ, but it's harder to remain the champ once you've become the champ. And when you are the champ, everybody expects you to take care of business. And don't think for a second that Donald Trump doesn't know that if and when he wins the election, that he's not going to have the deep state and the media come after him twice as hard as they did before.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
It'll
right.
happen.
Oh, it'll happen.
Over and over and over again.
Yes, over and over again. And they're going to just keep pressing it.
Once again, historic win last night. Nobody has ever reached the numbers that he did. Donna says Vic Faust for VP. Seriously, an outsider as Trump was considered. No mold politician. If Donald Trump calls, I'm going.
Yeah. You should go.
My kids are getting.
You should go. And you would be and you know why you would be?
No,
a really
I
good
said
VP?
I would be the secretary. I would be the secretary.
You'd be great at it. You'd be great at it.
Hell yes, I would be. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you'd be so great. I know it's true. I think you would be so great at it.
Who knows Donald?
Because you really do get politics, and it's not just. And this is nothing negative about anybody that's far right, because I tend to be far right. But Vic can figure out situations, get along with the far right, but also say, okay, this is what we want, but how do we get there? That's how Vic is. How do we get there? Okay, this is what we want, but we can't do that. There's certain steps to legislation to get there. We want this, but we got to take steps to get it. And Vic has that figured out. And from working with him, I've seen things differently than I just want what I want. I'm far right. I want my country back. Boom. And I would go in with a bowl, you know what do they call that? In a china shop. I'd be like, and Vic's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, that's right. What you want. But there's
I like this.
steps.
This sounds good.
But it's true.
Are we recording this?
You get the steps on how to get there. And so I've been told early on, oh my gosh, if you're going to go work with Vic Faust, he's a rhino. Oh, no, he's not. He's very pragmatic. I have been. You know that. I've been told,
I've been called a rhino.
Go work with Vic Faust. He's a rhino. You're not a rhino at all, but you're pragmatic and you get how to get there.
You got to talk to people.
You got to talk to both sides.
Yes, that's why we have our Democrats in. That's why we talk to the people that we do. Obviously, honey captures more flies than vinegar.
100%. And that's why I like the new Trump. I loved the old Trump, But the only negative thing people could say about him is he wasn't presidential. The last 2-3 times we've seen him, he is talking with more honey.
I'd say the last 6 months.
I love how and now it doesn't matter to me, Lizzie Sparks, how he talked. I don't care. I liked it. But a lot of people didn't. And that's the only negative thing they said about him. Well, he's corrected that. And it's a beautiful thing.
That's true.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they could say.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see New Hampshire next Tuesday, because if and when the media, that's both right and left, has a chance to degrade Trump, they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do whatever they can to push him down, to make it bad. Oh, he's losing ground. It's like, just stop. Let's talk about. I mean, you said that Karl Rove was even saying it wasn't a big deal last night.
Yeah, he was. And I just wanted to.
But Karl Rove is part of the establishment.
He is. And he was, oh my gosh. And he was on Fox, you guys. So if you didn't see that, he was almost as bad as Rachel Madcow, because he was literally sitting there. She does. She acts like a mad cow. So I call her
I've
Rachel
never
Mad
heard
Cow.
that, but I'm sure it's out there. But that's funny.
It is Rachel Mad Cow. And he was like literally sitting there with his nose up in the air. And it was like he needed like smelling salts, because he was having such a hard time with the big win of Donald Trump, because he can't stand him.
Oh my God.
Oh, I don't know who I was enjoying more last night. Rachel, doing her mad cow. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting here on this couch. It's making me sick. Or Karl, that was trying to act like, oh, this doesn't bother me, but I hate Donald Trump.
My first order of business as press secretary for Donald Trump, the new president of the United States, or the president who is back in office, will be to put Peter Doocy in the first row.
Oh, love
at the
it.
press briefings.
Love it. That would be so exciting. It's so great. So great. It would be so fun. And it would be really cool to have Vivek or Vic as the press secretary. You would eviscerate the funny looking hair guy.
He would be, Vivek should be it. But if Vivek has a bigger role, or if he's busy,
right,
I'm open to take over the press secretary roles.
That would be beautiful.
As long as I can fly Air Force One.
Okay.
To watch my son's football games.
You'd get Air Force Two.
Yeah, Air Force. Is there an Air Force Two?
There is an Air Force Two. You wouldn't get an Air Force One.
And Chanel Rion would be right in the front row as well.
Right next to him. And it'd be great, because we
Chanel Rion from OAN.
Correct. That
and
would
friend
be
of the
great.
show.
I think that would be a beautiful thing.
It is interesting. Alex says, did anybody see what's happening? What's going on right now? Johnson County in Iowa, which Bill Hemmer was like, listen, people, this could be the one county that somehow Nikki Haley wins, that Donald Trump, or we're going to have an all red map. We may have a little orange square right here. Yeah, that was Johnson County. That's when Fox was trying to make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I haven't seen this, but Alex says Johnson County still has Haley as the winner.
And why did Alex is saying they needed her to win that county?
With one more vote than Trump.
Yeah.
99% of the, and that they had like 4,000 votes, or like 3,000 total votes, and they've only got 99% in, and it is now Tuesday at 9:50 Central Time.
Correct. I guess they needed her to win one county so Trump could win.
Oh my God, this is so sad.
It really is. It's kind of pathetic. You know what, you guys, if you want an enjoyable evening, well, I'm a political geek, so I love it. I was having the best time with all my TVs, watching MSNBC and News Nation and all these people just melting down. And then I'm zeroing in on the ones that just love him. And it just was so fun. It just made my heart real happy last night.
Yeah, I tell you what, I would love to replace KJP.
Oh, you would be great at
the
it.
worst. And because if you replace somebody who's been really bad,
yeah,
because you never want to be the guy to replace the guy,
right,
or the woman to replace it. You want to be the woman or guy to replace the guy who replaced the guy.
Correct.
Because they're big shoes to fill. No matter how good you do, the expectations may be too high for you to even get the respect that you may deserve.
Correct.
And for people to realize all of the positive that was going on. Yes, Susan, this was me last night. Literally, this was me preparing for the show, making food for my son, watching football because the Buccaneers destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles last night. I'm a Baker Mayfield fan, the quarterback from the Bucs.
There was good TV.
So they're going to be at the Lions next week, and I like that matchup better for the Lions. The Blues were on, and it was a tight game to the fourth quarter.
It was good.
The third period. I was watching politics.
Yeah, there was so much stuff to watch. I even snuck in. I didn't watch the football game, but I snuck in the Blues a little bit in there too.
So yeah, there you go. All of that stuff going on. I was the same as you, my friend. Roland says watching liberals melt should be a new sport.
It
See who
warms
turns
my
the
heart.
channel first.
I know. I mean, maybe that's a little sadistic side of me because it kind of just maybe like liberals like it when we melt down, but
you can't call people racist because they don't want to follow your political ideas.
Correct.
And that's what a lot of these networks are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Alex says, so did the Eagles, after losing, say they punched their ticket to the next round like DeSantis?
Like DeSantis.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
He's like, we finished in second.
Woo!
We have qualified for the second round. And it's like all the people like, woohoo!
Oh.
We just lost by 50 to 60%. Woohoo! But you have to say that because he's going to get destroyed in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
He's going to get destroyed in South Carolina. He won't win anything.
No,
and that's the problem.
He spent all of his money. His money
and
is
a
gone.
lot of money's been thrown at these
Yes.
guys. Lots of money.
I think Alex said, and Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, he texted us last night and said something about it. He could give each voter there at the caucus like $4,500 every
or
single
$5,200.
Is that what it was? Or $5,200? And he still lost. I mean, he could literally have taken all that money he spent to the voters, and he still lost.
Well, these things are happening. It's a different time right now in America. We said it 2024, which is why we are jumping in as we did. We'll continue to talk about the border and the illegal immigration, the illegal aliens that are infiltrating this country, the invasion, and of course, what's happening from the political standpoint when it comes to what's happening with voting and IDs and what it takes and where the money's going. And it is interesting. All those massive mega donors left Ron DeSantis
Sure did.
and went over to Nikki Haley. I had another good analogy. See, in the race car world, when you're drafting somebody, that's you want to stay in that lane.
Correct.
And you can draft somebody and they pull you ahead too.
Okay.
But if you get out on the outside and think that you can pass,
I get it.
Ron DeSantis was right behind Donald Trump, and he was drafting, and he was looking good.
He was.
And then what did he do?
Yep.
He didn't do the cold trickle deal.
No, he didn't.
He should have done. You got to be ready. If you're going to jump out on that outside, you better make sure that you have enough gas, that you have enough power to follow and pass that lead car, Donald Trump in this case. But Ron DeSantis moved out to the right.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the push from behind.
He didn't shake and bake.
He didn't shake and bake. That is such a good analogy, Vic.
And he was left, and then there goes the field.
Yeah.
And then here's Ron falling back in that race car line. I don't want to leave out our race car fans because I do like racing.
Oh,
too.
I do too.
Yes, that was a Days of Thunder reference.
There you go.
Cold trickle.
Is such a cold trickle thing.
No, cold trickle's Donald Trump, but he didn't listen.
Oh, yeah,
he didn't do the cold trickle. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. That is a great analogy because he did do that.
And then now everybody's passing Ron DeSantis. Sorry.
God love Ron DeSantis.
Just look at the odds.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're down and your odds are just above Kamala Harris to be the next president.
That's right.
And she's already got a spot sitting there for her. I mean, just think about that. If Joe Biden were to no longer be alive today, what happens?
That's scary.
Seriously, what if Joe disappeared today?
What could happen? And
what
then we
happened?
got Cammie. That's scary. Cammie is, some people just say she's not very smart. I don't know. She got a law degree. Maybe she used to be smart, but she acts dumb on purpose. Well, she just does.
Wasn't Biden missing for like 4 days?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Did he turn up somewhere?
I don't know that he has turned up. That's a really good point. He has been missing. And who else was missing? The guy that got out of the hospital? Lloyd Austin. Yeah, I couldn't think
Secretary
of his name.
of Defense. He just now, and by the way, I was not wrong. He just got out yesterday. So what I'd heard, he had been in for over 2 weeks. It was a major, major situation that was going on. But of course, the media won't cover. If that happened with a Republican sitting president, they would have been lambasted. This is what happens, which is why we say you can't trust the media. And everybody says that you can't trust. Well, you can't. So you have to go out and find places like what we do.
Correct.
And then we let our shows prove for themselves day in, day out, 2 hours, Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing what we can, everything we possibly can. He is a very intelligent man, but in no way meets up to Trump, in my opinion. Talking about Ron DeSantis, I'm assuming. Of course not.
Yes.
Which is why we hoped that he would have.
He just would have waited till 2028, and now he's kind of ruined himself.
What does this mean? Alex says Kamala got her law degree treating her professor like a straw.
We can't say that on the air.
I don't know what that means.
You do.
I do?
Well.
So, wait a minute. Kamala with a straw.
Look at his next post.
Oh, what does that mean?
It's Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, just leave me alone. Why does everybody have to bring me in on such a good time? Swear I didn't do anything to that girl. I mean, nothing that she didn't want.
Turned her into a Monte Cristo.
Just why is everybody just leave me alone?
And Chris is calling it Cigar Gate.
Already dealing with all of this freaking Epstein crap. Cigar Gate.
I love it. I love it.
Hello.
Oh,
John says just his approach and demeanor is awesome. President Trump is a war horse.
Yes.
I need music behind me as I read this. He is exactly what we need to turn around our great country. Oh my God.
That's good.
Can I say this joke, guys? My God. Monica had only one job and she blew it.
Oh my gosh.
Cancel this shit. Cancel this. Are we as funny as we think we are? I mean, we're having fun.
I don't know. We really, I don't think anybody thinks that we're as funny as we do. We think we're really funny.
I'm going to get Vic a little toy saxophone for when he's doing his Bill Clinton.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why is that again?
Well, because Bill Clinton on, what's his name, Arsenio Hall show, he played, when
The
he was
saxophone.
running for president, he played saxophone.
He did.
Won over the Americans' hearts.
Yeah, he did by playing saxophone. Maybe you could win over America's hearts by talking like Bill Clinton and having a saxophone.
I blew that. She blew me. Yeah, here we go, baby. Monica. Chris. Monica was Bill's walking humidor. Okay.
Walking humidor. Oh,
Lisa.
good.
Yeah, here you go. I mean, you guys, most of you are in the
funny.
St. Louis metropolitan area, but we have listeners all across the country and in the world. Lisa calls it a sexophone.
A sexophone.
That's
how he wooed
creative.
the women. You know, like Kenny G, he wooed his women with the saxophone.
All right. Well, we can't make it back from this.
I don't
and
think
it's
so.
time. We just, it is the fastest and what we feel best 2 hours.
Yeah.
Of broadcasting, podcasting, political news, conspiracy, humor, greatness.
You going to wear your white hat today?
No, I don't have a white hat.
Well, you need to get one.
Yeah, if somebody sent me, I'd wear it for a segment.
Yeah, you need to wear a white hat. So anybody has a white hat that says something about Trump or just that Vic is really great or whatever, and he'll wear it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And everybody will say, Vic's a white hat.
Oh my God. I got it. You guys, they continue on. Enjoy, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. Continue to let people know about what we're doing. That's why we continue to grow from that standpoint. Would love additional advertisers. Let us know. Vic at canceltheshow.com, Lizzie at canceltheshow.com. If you know of people that we should be interviewing, talking to, let us know. You can also donate, or if you know anybody that would donate to the cause of free speech, not being canceled that we do, please let us know. There's a donate button on our website, canceltheshow.com, and it says donate right there. We are grateful. Guys, have an awesome Tuesday. We will come back. We'll do it again tomorrow. So for Pro Joe and the help from David Sparks, who is in today, Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Have a great day. That does it for this canceltheshow.com.
America.